Coming to you live from a carb-free hellscape, it's the Character Issues Podcast. And now here's somebody who probably actually does have carbs right now, Brian Edwards.
Hello, I am Carb Master Brian Edwards here, bringing you all the lowdown on the pastas and grains you can put into your face holes. This is the Character Issues Podcast. With my introduction, as always, is Leah Haydu. Leah, how is your carb-free existence?
I'm about 6 hours into it, and it's miserable.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Coming to us from across the pond is Rich Davis. And Rich, what delicious carbs do you plan on eating today?
Well, I mean, it's late for me, isn't it? It's already eaten, and I had rice, but my favorite carb, potatoes. Yeah.
Making the
humble
saddest
potato.
face, like y'all didn't even know. It's lips sticking out and everything.
Yeah, the things that I could do with a potato. Whew, you wouldn't. Oh God, that sounded way worse than
don't
it
threaten
is.
me
That
with
was
a good
very
time.
disturbing.
I don't know how to feel about that.
You ever
I'll
seen
walk that
Rich's
one back.
potato trick? This is the Character Issues Podcast. This is episode 86, y'all. We are doing it. We are rapidly approaching the re-rank-a-palooza. Before we get into our what we've been playing lately, and kind of some housekeeping stuff, I do want to mention over this past weekend, which has been the weekend of with Sunday the 22nd in it, I went to an arcade, a video game arcade, not that far from where I live, about 3 hours from where I live, called Pastimes. It's in Girard, Ohio, for those of you who may live on the East Coast. It has like 200 arcade machines and like 500 pinball tables in it. It's like this huge fucking warehouse. And it was rad. But I wanted to say that I went with a couple of friends of mine, but also a listener of the show. One Chuck was there at Pastimes, and we got to spend some time together. So I'm fraternizing with listeners. I just wanted you guys to know. I feel like that was a admission I had to get out of the top. Do you guys have any? Does the tribunal have any questions for me about my?
Let's
So
cross-examine Brian here.
They really exist, huh, listeners?
Yeah, they exist in the
Wow,
real
man.
world. Yeah, they really do. That was really cool. It was really nice getting out to a place with like physical video games and like mechanical pinball machines, and just remembering that this, despite how awful it can all be, that they can be pretty fun.
I've got a question for you, and then
Yeah.
actually do need to sort of like put something in the order of business before we get into what we've been playing. But
Sure.
favorite game that you experienced when there?
There was a really interesting pinball table called Par Golf. It was one of those. It was technically pinball, but you'd press the button for the pinball to roll down the field, and then you'd hit it with a stick, and then depending on what gate you hit it under, it was like your yardage for a golf hole, and then when you were on the green, in big air quotes, it would switch to putts, so you were always trying to get as low of a score as you possibly could. I spent an obscene amount of time playing that game. Unfortunately for me, the listener Chuck ended up with the low score for the weekend, so he's a son of a bitch. You can't be trusted.
That motherfucker.
So, yeah.
Thanks
Well,
for
that does
listening.
track with your contempt.
And
for
it's
the
from like
listeners, Brian.
it was from like the 50s too, like really old. Like this place is like, it's like this pinball museum. They have like ancient pinball machines and like really weird oddities and stuff. It's if you're into pinball at all, this place is fucking unreal. And then the arcade games are great too. My favorite arcade game I played there, which would be no surprise to people who know me, is an arcade game called Timber, where you chop down. It's like Tapper, but instead of serving beers, you're chopping down trees.
I see.
But yeah, it's a fucking great game.
That's
Character Issues historians would be happy to know, Rich, if you remember, one episode was late. We got recording late, and on the recording we mentioned it was because I was attempting to get MAME to run Timber on my computer, and I was late.
Character
but that's-
issues, lore.
Yeah, the lawkeeper is just a bearded man in an old
We
library.
keep him in a closet, yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Maybe Chuck. Brian, I do need to, because we may never get the opportunity to do this, and I really don't want to miss out on it. So, keen-eared listeners will know that on the last episode, we did make a very important ranking, and we did have some movement in and around a very important number, and we need to make a decision
I
about what
missed
to do.
it.
Yeah, but we did not. Now, Rich, I want you to continue because I don't want to talk over you, but we did not make an official proclamation yet because we figured that we needed all three of us here. Is that correct,
We
Rich?
do, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
We are a committee, if nothing else.
So, Leah, if I could draw your attention to the list, could you please let the people know who is in the current 69 spot?
Gosh, I sure can, guys. Now, I do feel bad. I'm behind on my podcast, so I have not listened to the one I wasn't on yet. I will, though.
What?
Listen, I don't listen to all the podcasts I'm on, but I do listen to this one. So, because I think we're very funny. And scientific, obviously, but
Naturally.
yes, this is a delight. This is a true surprise and delight to tell you that our new number 69, as of our previous ranking, is indeed Voldo.
Hooray! Fanfare.
The only character on this list that I'm pretty sure that could 69 himself.
Yeah.
So it's really impressive. So what we've posited in the past is that when Voldo made it to the 69 spot, that we would enshrine him as the permanent 69. So following Robert's rules of order, do I hear a motion for Voldo to be made the permanent number 69?
I so move.
Do I hear a second for this motion?
I agree, yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So on the list that nobody can see but the three of us, I am putting Voldo's name in the most putrid green that I could find to immortalize Voldo as the 69. So the way this is going to work moving forward, let's say so currently 69 is Voldo, number 68 is the Slime from Dragon Quest, and number 70 is the Devil from Cuphead. Let's say the first character we rank today we put at the 68 spot. The Slime from Dragon Quest would leapfrog 69 entirely and move straight down to number 70. We are all comfortable with this.
Yes, that is my understanding of how this will work.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Any
Do you know, it is
objections, Rich?
entirely possible in Soul Calibur 6, I think, to customize Voldo's codpiece with the number 69 in honor. So if anybody wants to make that happen...
In character issues, branded Voldo.
Can we
Someone's
get a
going to have to cosplay, and it's not going to be me.
So I'm not sure if you're both familiar with Wrestling Buddies. They were these little stuffed animals that looked like wrestlers that were out when I was a kid.
I don't
like
think
to
I
get
knew
one made
that's
of
what they were
Voldo.
called, but yeah. I'd
like to get one made of Voldo 69ing himself. Would be wonderful.
Listen, Etsy has your back, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
We can find somebody who would custom make us a plushie of that. I'm pretty sure.
So Voldo, you've done it again, you sick bastard. Number 69 with a bullet.
If anybody out there is
he will stay enshrined.
If anybody out there is artistically inclined and would like to make us a surprise for our next Re-Rankapalooza, Voldo 69ing himself would be pretty good. I'm just saying.
And you can
cursed image.
and you can email that to characterissuespodcast@gmail.com, where we'd love to receive any emails that you guys have. It's been a minute since we've talked like this, like just kind of what we've been playing lately. Rich and I had a bit of a Neo conversation on the last podcast that will continue today. So I think it's only right that we start with you, Leah, because you haven't had a chance to talk about what you've been playing for a few weeks. What have you been getting into? Has it been mostly podcast games? Have you been playing anything for yourself? What's on your docket these days?
Yeah, so I have been playing a lot of podcast games. Since the last time we spoke, I have played and completed Balan Wonderworld, which I don't, which I had started, but I do not think I had finished by the last episode. I also played Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3. That's not a new one. I had played that one to death in its original incarnation when I had a Game Boy at the tender age of 13, I think it was when it came out. And I also played Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which is an upcoming show that I am very much looking forward to because that made me feel happy. bolstered by the fact that I almost played the entire game stoned off my fucking ass, which is a great way to play Kirby, by the way. It really is. It's just such a positive and happy little experience. It was great. But for myself, I have also been playing a couple of games. I played a game, so something that I would like to start doing, and I've been meaning to start doing this for a while, is I pick up a bunch of, and I'm sure that Brian, you in particular, and Rich, you as well, but Brian and I are hoarders, so I think this really applies for us. Just games that I pick up either extremely cheap on a sale or in some subscription service that I have, and then they just kind of sit there and I never really go back to them. So what I would like to do is to start kind of weaving some of those into my normal kind of play times, I guess. So I started to do that. I played a game called 1980X for the PlayStation 5. I believe it's out on everything, I think. It's a pretty short game. It's only like an hour and a half, 2 hours long, and it is a partial visual novel, but more than that, it has so it's set, obviously, as the name suggests, in the 80s, in kind of the arcade scene, and it's a person of, I don't know, maybe like mid-teens, I guess, and kind of how they get into this arcade scene and how it makes them feel, like more seen and more just accepted and just kind of that whole thing, and the setup of the game, as I said, it's partly visual novel, but there are also 4 or 5 like fake arcade games that you play during the course of the story. So like there's one that's a beat 'em up, and then there's one that's a racing game, and then there's it's stuff kind of like that. There's one that's a side-scrolling kind of adventure platformer type thing.
This looks really cool. I'm watching the trailer right now.
I think you would probably like it. And like I said, it's pretty short. Which is good, because I think that if they had tried to stretch that out to a much longer game, it probably would have worn thin. It looks really nice. Like, I really like the art in this game. It's very good pixel art. The one thing I wasn't super crazy about was the voice acting. I think that this game probably didn't need dialogue at all. It probably just could have gone with like the art and maybe a little bit more guided like storytelling through the art. But the voice acting's there. It's not like terrible. It's just it felt like it slowed things down for me, and it wasn't great. So but aside from that, I thought it was a nice fun little time. So 1980X.
I love games that like shoehorn like fake arcade games or fake like Arcade Paradise is like the one that pops to mind, but even like a game I played last year called Cauldron that had a bunch of different types of games within the game. I'm always down to try one of those. I think it's a really cool idea. So that looks neat. That Outrun clone looks like impressive. That looks really looks like Outrun. That's crazy.
It felt like Outrun in that I was bad at it. And it took me a while
I'm
to
also
actually
very
get
bad
to
at
the point.
it.
Because in each of these games, like you have to kind of beat the level or the section of game that they have set out for you, and they're not all super easy. So I was stuck on Outrun for a little while because I kept running out of time. But yeah, it was, like I said, if you find it for free or for a couple of bucks, then I think it's worth checking out. The other game that I played some of, but actually ended up deleting from my hard drive when it crashed on me for a second time in the space of about half an hour, was Scott Pilgrim, the arcade game. I've played this game before and I didn't finish it, and when I started playing it again, I kind of remembered why. It's because that game is really fucking hard for what it is.
Really hard, yeah.
So I played the first few levels, and I'm like, okay, I'm sort of getting it, but I'm having a hard time. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna like run the first level again and see if I can get some money so I get some upgrades, and I did that. And then I went back to the level that I had been stuck on, and I got all the way to the last boss, and on the last hit of that boss, the game crashed and sent me back to the beginning of the level. So I said, no, you know what? I think I'm good, and I deleted it. So I'm not going back to that for the moment. It's not a bad game. It's just it's too hard. Like it should be an easier game in my opinion. But yeah, if you enjoy those and particularly if you're good at them, then it's probably a decent one of those. I don't know enough about the genre to really tell you. Like,
that feels like a game to me. And I think you'd agree with this, that like I will struggle to get enjoyment out of, but Mikhail Croder could give me a 45-minute lecture about how fucking cool and deep and awesome it is. Like, I think it's just meant,
and it would make you actually want to be good at it, but you're not.
Exactly.
Yes,
exactly.
I absolutely think that is true.
Yeah. And that's a parentheses positive on that.
Yes.
Like,
I agree.
I wish I could enjoy those games in that way. I just don't have that skill set for sure.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's the game. Well, the crashes are probably the game's fault, but I don't think that the problems that I have with it are necessarily the game's fault. I think it's just I'm not very good at that kind of game. So when you actually give me a challenge, it's not going to stick very well. Because God, what am I going to do? Get better at something? No, excuse me. Okay, and then I think the last thing that I want to talk about is I've mentioned previously, I believe, my kind of very long-term project to play back through the Final Fantasy games, kind of in reverse order. I played 15 again on my Switch, or not on my Switch, on my Steam Deck. Was that last year before? Relatively recently.
We talked about it recently, yeah.
Yeah, and it held up super well, actually, on the Steam Deck. It played very well, and I love that game. I know not everybody does, but I do.
I do, too.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. I think about that game a lot, like, probably more than I should. Like, dude, I know that it's not objectively the best Final Fantasy game, but I really fucking like that game.
So, not to take a Final Fantasy 15 detour, because it's a road trip.
Car.
That game, the story in that game doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense if you write it down on paper. Some of the fights are aggressively bad. I think the Titan fight is like terrible. But holy shit, when I'm in the Regalia and those fuckers are talking to each other and the music starts playing and I can pick up whatever music I want on my radio and then I get out and I'm fighting these things, like that game gives me wanderlust in a way that I just didn't like. That game hit just for me in such a specific way that I also think about it a ton, Leah. So you're not alone at all.
Okay.
I love that fucking game.
Good. It's so good. But anyway, I recently played back through that. I also played back through, although I don't think I actually made it all the way through the last boss because I prepared poorly and I didn't feel like going back. Played 13 pretty recently. So next step, of course, is to play 13-2, which is not going backwards in the timeline, but I mean, for this and for 10 and 10-2, like you can't play the sequels before you play what are you doing here? So I'm playing Final Fantasy 13-2, which is a game that gave me my very first platinum on the PlayStation 3 years and years ago. I like this game a lot, and so far I am happy to say that it is holding up. It's not a Final Fantasy X-2 experience where I'm not really sure that I still think the same thing about the game that I did when I played it first and really loved it. I am still really enjoying my time with it. So Final Fantasy 13-2 has the same combat system as Final Fantasy 13, but they give it to you immediately rather than making you spend 20 hours learning it. So that's a plus. It's also a plus that it basically has Pokemon because you only have 2 people characters that you have in your party, and your third slot is taken up by a monster that you have captured.
Go on.
Yeah, and you train them, and you can put little hats on them. That's what really sold me. Was I have not found any Tonberries yet, but when I played it through the first time, my platinum run, I had a Tonberry who wore a little halo, and he was perfect, and I loved him.
Truly terrifying.
You can also name them if you want. I haven't named any of mine yet because I'm not super attached to any of them. But if I get a friend who I want to keep with me, you better believe I'm gonna think of a great name for my boy. You can also feed the ones you don't want to the ones that you're keeping so that they get their abilities. So, yeah, it's aggressive. But, yeah, Final Fantasy 13 too. It's actually good. I'm going to play Lightning Returns again after this, and I've only played that game once, and it was not my favorite. Like, I didn't hate it, but I also did not really get into it, so we'll see. Maybe I will.
I've got to play those games.
Yeah,
I've never played them. I really want to play those games.
Yeah, I think you should. But yeah.
This will shock you, Leah. I own all three of them. So
oh really?
That's shocking.
Me too.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, weird. Anything else you've been playing?
I don't think so.
right.
I have been working from home a lot due to a lot of doctor's appointments and also snow. So I have not done a ton of commute gaming, but I do still have Grand Theft Auto 4 on there. So still working on that. But aside from that, yeah, I think
Cousin.
that's pretty much everything. Cousin. Yeah, Nico is coming to Character Issues at some point soon.
Oh, hell yeah.
But I want to finish the game first. So
yeah, a Cousin Roman would be high on my list to rank too. I have to replay that though because last year I played through the 3 3 Vice City and San Andreas, and I my plan is to eventually play 4 and 5 this year before 6 comes out. But yeah, that'll be a good way to fill some time for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Leah. Rich Davison. I don't want to steer the conversation, but has it been mostly Neo for you? Are you a Neo man now?
Yeah. I've got a couple of other things that I've been like pushing on with, but Neo is the big hitter. So, how do you want to do this? Shall I go next?
Yeah, no, you go for broke, and then I can, because my talk is just about how I finished it, and I'm a true gamer and a true fan of the Neo series, obviously. Yeah.
Okay, so it's continuation of a couple of things, really. My partner and I have been playing through Blake Manor still. About 12 hours in, I've finally made it to the end of day 1, which is
how many days
are there?
Yeah.
I think there's 3 days in total. But I'm finding it really difficult to actually make progress. And it was because I didn't realize that in order to actually push on with one of the mysteries, I needed to find a single MacGuffin to help me get through. And I don't know, Brian, if you had the same problem that I did, but the single thing that I needed to observe was a cigar burn on a chair. In the library.
Same exact problem. Yep.
For fuck's sake, man.
What's that guy's name? The guy with the goatee.
I can't remember his name.
Whatever.
Name.
Yeah.
A cast of
but like
people
literally, not to take your conversation, but everybody's talking about this motherfucker and his cigars and how stinky they are. So like you already know the information. But you just have to look at this one burn and it's like, well, it must have been him. And you're like, I fucking knew that. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that is kind of it. Like, it was probably about 4 hours of just clicking on every single thing, like the equivalent of a pixel hunt to try and progress things. But now that's done, it's kind of cooking with gas, I think. We've got to a kind of story beat. We're starting to open up a little bit more of the mana itself. Things are coming along nicely, solving things at a rate of knots. I think what I wish I knew when I started this game that I didn't know, and would definitely be advice that I would give to anybody else, is try and solve individual people's mysteries rather than the larger, broader mystery in the first instance, because it's just going to be a much more kind of lean experience. It's good. I mean, it's a weird way of playing this game, like once every 2 weeks, just logging in for like an hour or two and just cracking on. But it's not an unpleasant way of doing it. It's still a fascinating story, still an interesting place to be, still oppressive and dark. It's just that it's growing and growing and growing, and I'm struggling a little bit to kind of keep on top of everything, but that's not a bad thing. It's still very enjoyable.
I think Sorry, I just was going to say that I think that day 2 really ramps up the pace in a way I think you guys will find satisfying.
Cool. I mean, I need that because I'm struggling a little bit at the minute with actually figuring out. Like, I might have had like one story beat that I needed to follow, and that's kind of where I got a bit lost because you don't like organically find things when you're pixel hunting for that one thing. But one thing I just want some advice on is I sort of feel like this game is. Like, I'm not solving the game. It's just drip feeding me information at a sort of rate that makes me feel like I'm included in it. And I mean, I know that there's a fail state, but I'm sort of trying to sort of understand, like, am I actually experiencing the story as it's being told, or am I playing the game and uncovering the story? And I'm not really sure yet. It's a bit of a rhetorical question, really.
No, that's a good question, I think, and I think your experience may vary there. There were moments of that game where I was like, oh, this is a really neat puzzle game, but then there were also moments of the game that felt like everybody's going to the whatever, however that one was called, where you're just kind of following the story as it moves, kind of thing. So. Yeah, there is definitely walking simulator type of interactions there.
Yeah, this was a major critique I had of Citizen Sleeper when I played it.
I've never played that.
You feel like you're playing a game, but somewhere in the back end of it, it's like bending so that you get the maximum amount of like tension without any real kind of threat, for lack of a better word. I don't think Blake Manor's quite as kind of severe as that, but it's cool. I'm looking forward to seeing what's what. I mean, I've got a couple of key suspects in mind. I've got a couple of bits of information to help me kind of narrow things down. It's a person with a medium pair of shoes and is has magical affinity. And there's one other thing, and I'm like, how on earth am I meant to know this? Like, is a Christian, I think, is the key. So
I'm trying to remember exactly, and I'm not going to spoil it for you, obviously, but like some of the risk that you talk about, or like the fail state, is less about your character and more about kind of what happens at the seance. So there is not payoff for that until kind of the end of the game, one way or the other. I mean, because I'm pretty sure you can finish this game without saving anybody. You know what I mean? And letting everybody die.
Well, that's cool. So it will want you to complete it, basically, yeah?
Yeah.
Interesting. Did you also have a moment where you're like, what is the priest doing in the female changing rooms? And when you go and talk to him, he's like, oh, I think I got lost. And then that's the end of that story.
From my experience, that seems like pretty on-the-nose priest behavior from what I understand. So
where else are you going to find a priest?
In the kids' changing rooms. Jesus, people.
That guy's the priest's a fucking weirdo. Oh my god, he looks like he does.
Well, we're verging on spoiler territory, so I may as well move along. I have made a start on playing Mother 3. I'm about 10 hours in. I think 10 hours in is about a third of the way through the game, and it's been a difficult 10 hours, can't lie. I think I've just had something else on my mind. I've been out a fair amount recently, just sort of like dealing with life stuff, and it's been a difficult one. But I think I finally broke the spine of it, and I can categorically say I think it's an absolute classic game. It's like Earthbound, as you would expect, but it's a very thoughtful version of that game. There's lots of kind of interactivity. It reminds me a lot of some of the kind of cool innovations on Clair Obscur. Like, it's very interactive JRPG. I won't go into the details about it because we've got a Cane and Rinse coming up, so I think I want to sort of save my thoughts. But yeah, like, when you get to this game, I think you're going to really enjoy it. It has like strong, for me at the moment, Live Alive vibes, because you kind of move between different characters before coming together in a kind of neat way. But it's all super interesting, very beautiful.
If I may very quickly break in, I don't want to steal all of your thunder here, but I just wanted to let you know that in preparation for the Mother 3 show, I bought a strategy guide from Fangamer that is like, an after the fact type of thing, and obviously unofficial. It's still in the wrapper. I didn't want to spoil anything, but once I start playing it, I'll send some pictures if there's. I suspect it's going to be a very nice looking.
Definitely.
One. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That is cool because obviously never released in the West.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, like somebody obviously loves that game. And honestly, this is the kind of salient point here. I can see exactly why people love that game. It's very cool, like very thoughtful. It's very attractive as well. For a Game Boy Advance game, it's doing some really interesting stuff with perspective and there's so many characters, like no duplicated sprites. Basically, every single character in that game has a unique sprite, like full of personality.
And you're playing it on
seems
a
like
larger
logical
screen,
extension.
right? Like just on your on your laptop or on your TV, or where are you?
No, I'm playing it on my like handheld device because
okay.
it's just dead easy to kind of deal with save states and stuff on that, like just to try and help me get through and make it portable because I've got some traveling coming up with work in the next couple of weeks as well. But yeah, really enjoying it. I have had a couple of moments though where I'm like, I've got nobody to blame for putting this because it is my nomination for volume 15 of King and Rince. So like, oh god damn, like I've done it to myself. But luckily I broke the spine of it. It just took about 10 hours to get there, which is part of the course for JRPG, I'm sure.
Yeah, but that's good to know that you're getting to a place where you can enjoy it, knowing your affinity for the other games. So that's cool.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And then I've put a lot of time into Neo 3. I think I'm probably about 60 hours in at this point.
Yeah.
Where do we even start? I think it's probably better if we just kind of bounce off one another in this, Brian. Like,
that sounds
I'm
great.
in the third main open world area at this point, and based on what I know of Neo games, this seems to be the last area because the gatekeeping of like levels is aligned with exactly what level you would be at the end of Neo 1 and the end of Neo 2.
Yeah.
And I'm really enjoying this game, like still like really enjoying it. I was speaking in the virtual green room about how all of the systems and mechanics are open now. So there's a lot of tinkering going on to kind of like craft the perfect character. I did this thing today, Brian, which really helped me out, and I think you're going to kick yourself for not exploring this, but it was change the shift burst from shift between the two styles, so ninja and samurai, and instead holding the R2 button shifts. Tapping the R2 just performs a shift burst without changing your orientation.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, man. And it's opened
now,
this
people
game
who
up
haven't
so
played
much.
the game won't know what that means, but that means that I wouldn't have had to go from ninja to samurai and then quick shift back. Oh,
exactly.
Fuck. That would have been something.
The amount of bosses that you would have like really shafted yourself over with by not doing that is pretty cool. But I'm just really enjoying it. I know you've completed it at this point as well. So where do we even go?
So I don't know, man. I've been thinking about this game nonstop. I've been back to it several times since I completed it. It turns out that getting COVID when this game came out was a real easy way to put 60 hours into a game in a week because you're just on your couch feeling like dog shit the entire time. Yeah, man, it's hard to not talk about this game hyperbolically for me right now. I like if you were to ask me right now, it's my favorite Souls-like game I've ever played. Like it's I thoroughly like it. Liked it more than Elden Ring, it's an easy comparison to make. It's also an unfair comparison. I think we talked about this last time, but it just feels like a more directed and concise version of that game. Still a massive game, but like a little less aimless, I guess, is maybe the way. And some people probably love that, so I'm not shitting on one or the other. Just personally for me, it's really between this game and Bloodborne for me. And I think the reason I like this one more is because it feels snappy. I feel powerful and quick as fuck. And I know you and I are playing different versions of the game. You being samurai, me ninja style, but man, I just can't stop thinking about the way this game made me feel. It's every mountain that you end up climbing in this game, no matter how frustrating the ascent is, I never managed to lose the fun in what I was doing. And there's always something new to learn, something new to do, some other goal you could attempt to accomplish if you're batting your head against one thing. But I don't know, for some reason the grind in this one of like getting better enough to beat a boss like never felt like a chore. Doesn't mean I wasn't frustrated at times. I certainly got killed when the boss had like 2 hits left of health. You know what I mean? Like I've had those moments, but overwhelmingly my experience was so positive. It's hard to even treat those as negatives because those moments of frustration led to huge aha moments of gratification. So like, yeah, and the levels are varied enough, and the design of the encounters is varied enough to where nothing ever felt like it got stale over the course of 70 hours for me. It's it's a really special video game, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how to not speak of it in hyperbole. Like maybe you can take a shot at doing that better than me.
I don't know. Like Neo is like a 9-year-old game at this point. And Neo 2 was released 2020, I think. So I've had a really long sort of love affair with this game, this series now for the best part of 10 years. It's a natural evolution of what they put down in Neo 2. There's just a couple of like interesting, conscientious, like thoughtful improvements that they've done between the three games that have just turned it into what I think is like an all-timer. So a couple of things, like you can get frustrated with the boss and bash your head against it, and unlike a Souls game where really there is only one way through it, and that is either to summon in a friend or like some kind of NPC or just get very good. Neo has like 6 or 7 different ways to attack that particular problem. So you can summon in an NPC, you can summon in a friend, you can summon in fucking 2 friends if you really want to. You can go back to the smithy and start to finesse out the weapon in a specific way. You can improve your Onmyo, you can improve your soul cores, you can improve your summons. There's just a billion different sort of like tweaks that you can make to give yourself an advantage.
So I couldn't remember this about Neo 2, Rich. Did Neo 2 have a guardian spirit ability that you could like morph into that form?
Yeah.
Okay, so I couldn't remember that. So
the
like
first
Leah
game had that. Yeah, I think Neo 2 took that out in favor of the like burst. So what Neo 3's done is consolidated the mechanics from Neo and Neo 2 into like a sustainable, like singular kind of experience, and then duped it and doubled it by having 2 different forms at the same time.
Yeah, that form. So Leah, I know we're probably like being annoying and talking Greek about this, but like,
I'm not interested. I just haven't played it yet. So
no, right? It's just the mechanic that I really end up leaning on a lot for bosses that I was like, this isn't like pressing a win button at all, but like you build up this meter and you can, and whatever guardian spirit you have equipped, you can press the triangle and circle button together and you turn into this form, like, which is like a form of that guardian spirit and your warrior together, where you have basically the attacks and like the powers associated with these forms. So there's like a wind form and a lightning, and there's this fire tiger that I used that I leveled up because I loved him. And you hit this form, and you essentially get, it's essentially like a bit of a limit break type of situation where you're still doing the attack, but your attack's a little faster. If you get hit during them, it only depletes the amount of time that you are in this form. It doesn't deplete your actual health. And it really changes fights for me because it becomes less about whittling an enemy down and finding things. You have to recognize the patterns, do all these things, but like for me it was all about capitalizing when to use that guardian form. So like knowing that when I got a boss to a stagger state, if I had that guardian form built up, I could hit that and then just do colossal amounts of damage to this boss in this really short window of time. And it's about like maximizing your opportunities, and when you nail it, like, because you can picture that run in your head when you're practicing these, I know what happens here, I know all these phases, whatever, but then when you execute on the thing that you've thought about in your head for like the last 10 tries, man, that feeling of satisfaction is it's fucking video game heroin, man. Like it's really nice. And
that's so different to the way that I play this game as well. We talked about last time. For me, like I very rarely use that. What I tend to do is like put low and slow pressure on the boss, like grind its like blocking ability down, and then hit it with like a visceral attack, basically.
Yeah.
While at the same time constantly using like sloth talisman, like extreme, like what's it called? I forgot what the talisman's called now, but like rejuvenation, like all these things that just make it so that the boss hasn't got a window. So you just sit there and you just go toe to toe. It's much more like a fighting game than it is like Ninja Gaiden. So it's kind of fascinating to see that there's this level of versatility in this game that I'm just not experiencing.
Well, so I feel the same way because I didn't do any of that, right, in my entire playthrough. But you mentioned like a fighting game. It really does remind me of the finer moments of Super Punch-Out and Cuphead, where it's like the game you get from place to place, and there's enemies to fight on your way, and a lot of time there's very interesting enemies, some very large, interesting enemies, or enemies with different attack patterns, or these kind of mages that are around doing their things can be a real pain in the ass. But for me, it was all about those one-on-one kind of like big moments of just like, all right, like, figure out the phases, figure out what's going on. And sometimes you could nail it in a couple tries, but I was telling Rich about one in the green room that it took me no less than 50 tries to beat this boss, and I was really struggling against it. And Rich, if I remember correctly, you said that particular boss took you 1 or 2 tries.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
And then vice versa for different styles. It feels like everybody's experience with this game, if you get into it, is gonna kind of be your own narrative of how you got through this game. And I love that. I love that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the studio. It's only made me feel like more affectionate for it. I mean, Neo 3 was never meant to exist. They did come out at one point and say, I think we're done with the series. Like, we're gonna go back to Ninja Gaiden, spend a bit of time on a new IP with Rise of the Ronin. So to see it back, I'm delighted. I think the only thing I just want to say, also to be effusive about it, is it's such a colourful game as well. Like when I'm playing it, it's just so lovely. You don't see like games with that much saturation, and runs like a dream. Like it never falls. I'm not a frame rate like knobhead, but like it's Neo, man. I just really like those games.
Yeah, it's quite something in my opinion. It's good. I can't imagine a world where it's not incredibly high on my list for this year of games I played for sure. Yeah. Anything else, Rich? Before I've only got a couple. I've only got a couple small things aside from Neo. That was obviously the big one. I think I'm nearing the end of a game that I know that Leah and I both own, but I'm not sure if she's played it. It's called Hermit and Pig.
I have not played that yet. It just came out, right? Because it was on my wish list for a while, and I think I got the notification. I was like, I'm going to buy this, and then I haven't really used my Steam Deck much recently. So.
Yeah. So I played through Escape from Ever After, a game I really loved, and I was like, the reviews for Hermit and Pig came out, and it's like, hey, it's a kind of a cozy turn-based RPG. It's not unchallenging, but it's like this pleasant story about this hermit and this pig kind of taking down this evil corporation, which is a lot of what Escape from Ever After is about too. So I was very interested in it, and I think I got it for the launch discount, like 10% off. I'm like 6 hours into this game, and unsurprisingly, the reviews were accurate to my experience. I find this game charming as hell. You are a hermit who lives in the woods. Excuse me. There is the town that you are kind of, have self-imposed exiles yourself from. Everybody worked at the factory. It's kind of a small town. And this evil corporation comes in and puts everybody out of work. And the people are starving. So they turn to the hermit in the woods to forage mushrooms for them. And you basically go out on this hunt for this legendary massive mushroom. And all sorts of hilarity ensues. It's really well written. Yes, please.
Does the pig like come with you from the start, or do you find the pig?
No, the pig. You and the pig are pals.
Okay, good.
The way that you guys satisfy each other's needs in the... Wow, that sounded wrong. You guys are... Let's say you have a beneficial relationship in the woods, and the fact that you like to eat mushrooms and the pig likes to dig up truffles. So truffles that only the pig can find are your only currency in this game. So you're walking around, and the pig will, like a little question mark will come over his head, and you get him to search for truffles. Excuse me, my voice.
It sounds like a fucking George Orwell metaphor.
Follow-up question. Does the pig have a name?
Pig. His name is Pig. And throughout the forest, you find these. The way you progress, or the way that you kind of level up, is you find these blue glowing psychedelic mushrooms, and you take them, and they make you more powerful. In fact, to the point where
they do.
At the beginning of the game, there's a disclaimer that says, "Do not eat random mushrooms from the woods."
You don't know.
Or do it. Yeah. You never know.
You're not my mom.
They have to say that.
So that's kind of the conceit of the game. But it is a turn-based RPG, and one of the coolest things that I like about it is how combat works in this game. Escape from Ever After, the game I talked about, is a lot like Mario RPG or Paper Mario with action commands. This game actually has you're putting in input commands for each enemy.
Oh.
So in order to swing your cane at the enemy, I'm playing on mouse and keyboard. So that might be a combination of 3 letters on the keyboard, like WAS is cane swing, WSW is stomp on the enemy's head, and you have a book of these attacks in your menu that you can look towards, and there's a little active timer. Think like Final Fantasy VII on the side that counts down to your attack, and so you're putting in these commands.
Fantasy VI, it sounds like what's this fuck? The guy who suplexes the train.
Oh yeah, Sabin, is that right?
Yeah.
So but the cool thing is that like if you get status affected, say you're poisoned, you lose health, whatever. But if you get inflicted with blind, you can't look at your book to see your attacks. So you'd have to do them from memory, and you can fail those attacks. And each enemy has a series of weaknesses that they're vulnerable to some attacks. But say you're fighting against a porcupine and you use the stomp attack on it, it's going to hurt you, right? Because it would spike your foot, blah, blah, blah. Nothing revolutionary, but just enough to make every battle engaging to where you can't just look away or click or whatever. Like, you have to be engaged in these battles in order to win, or else you will get taken out. And so the hermit does all the attacking, and the pig is your support character. So the pig can spy on the enemies and find their weakness. The pig can forage for mushrooms and heal you during a fight. It's so charming, and the writing is so
pig.
Yeah, the writing is really good and legitimately funny, not just video game funny. It's laugh out loud funny. The music, the soundtrack's been incredible, and it's just another like pleasant RPG. And I kind of like. I'm not gonna say I can't put it down, but like I'm always thinking about wanting to play this game. Like whatever I'm doing during the day, I'd rather be playing Hermit and Pig. So for the $15-20 it costs, I don't even think it could fumble the ending and put me off of it as a good experience. I've been really enjoying it.
Surprise, the pig is a Nazi.
Oh man, never mind. That would turn me off because I am in love with Pig. So yeah, it's and you move from different areas. So you start in the forest, and the story kind of becomes about the hermit overcoming his fear of talking to people. So talking to NPCs in this game is literally a battle. So like you enter the battle screen, and the hermit just like getting acclimated to talking to other humans again is kind of his own internal battle he's fighting. And I think it does that really smart and in clever ways. And yeah, it's just been a delight to play through. I'm trying to think if there's anything like of substance I can say about it other than I feel like I'm just saying, hey, these games are good, you should play them. But like this game has heart and soul in a way that a lot of other games do. I think it would be easy to make a game like this that like looks cute and does things, but like kind of is vapid and doesn't have like real character to it. And this is not one of those. This game feels carefully considered in the way that it was designed and the story that it's telling. It's kind of like a environmentalist story. Obviously, you know, you're coming from the forest, you're helping these people by taking down this evil corporation that's poisoning the area. And yeah, that's a story I can get behind 100 times out of 100. So yeah. Total recommend on that. Hopefully by the next time we record, I'm sure I will finish that up. And
cool.
As my voice is going, I apologize to the listeners.
How dare you?
Life has been real lifey lately. So
Sure
I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom because it makes me happy. I've been making big dicks out of logs and throwing them at bokoblins and attaching fish to arrows for no reason and shooting them at idiots. And yesterday I made a machine that just launched me into the air repeatedly until Link died, and I thought that was funny. Like I just need to craft dumb stuff and be a moron in a world. So Tears of the Kingdom is what I've been leaning on. I've been going down. I beat the game before, but I never really explored all the depths and stuff, so I'm doing that. And that's just been kind of my pleasant, hey, I just need to tune out the world for a while and feel good. So when I first finished that game, my opinions of it weren't as high as my opinions of Breath of the Wild. But as going back to it now, I realize that it does have a little bit more going on. And it feels weird to be nostalgic for something that only came out 9 years ago in Breath of the Wild. But I think that might be playing a part because I think Tears of the Kingdom might be like a more mechanically interesting game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm having it's a way more fun playground to revisit, I guess. So I'll say I think that's what it has going for it.
And
I'm playing
what a
the
beautiful
Switch
game to be like chilling out to, though. Like,
Yeah.
it is like just wonderfully mechanically driven, and you're only limited by your own imagination. To this day, whether it's Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild, I'm still impressed watching what people come up with based around just purely what Nintendo put in that game.
Part of the reason I'm playing this again is Chuck, who I mentioned, the listener, brought his Switch on the trip with us and was playing Tears of the Kingdom on that trip, and it just sounded so pleasant hearing him play it in the background that I'm like, that seems like something I should go back to. So yeah, I'm having a blast with it. I played it for 4 hours last night and just couldn't put it down, just goofing around. So totally fun. Hey, video games, fun times.
Turns out.
I promise there's also games I don't like, in which I have brought a character from today. So why don't we get into the ranking? We have currently 183 characters on this list. I think we're just gonna go in order that they're listed here. Anybody, any opposition to me going first?
Why don't we dip mine out, because I think it's probably the least consequential of the three.
Well, I guess Rich is taking over the podcast. I'll leave.
Well, I'll try to spare your voice, buddy.
No, I appreciate you. Thank you. Go ahead. Who did you bring for us today, and why is he so goddamn cute?
Oh, shit, dude. No, what I meant is you can dip mine out. Like, yeah, I think mine's the least consequential of the three. We'll get a much more interesting podcast than that.
Nah, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, do it. I want to talk about this fucker.
I do too.
Cool.
He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, he's the best.
I mean, me too. So, Gen 1 Pokemon, where it all went down. Okay, I was thinking to myself, like, I need something low-hanging this week. It's been a bit of a dodgy one in terms of just, like, pressure at work and stuff like that. So I went for my favoritist ever Pokemon of all time. The Gen 1 Pokemon, the Grass Pokemon. First in 3, what's it called? Sort of stages of evolution. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. It's Oddish.
You may think he's just a little plant, but he's about to take his fronds and stick them up your ass. It's Oddish. You know who he is, bitch? It's motherfucking Oddish. He's a plant.
So, Oddish. You guys know Oddish, right? Like,
Sure.
Basically, it's like a little.
He's the weed Pokemon, according to the Pokepedia here. I'm sorry, the Bulbapedia. So
it's like a little blueberry guy. He just like a little blueberry with like little radish kind of things on top of it. Now, why is Oddish cool? I mean, aside from the fact Oddish is cute as fuck, like and like properly like the sort of genesis of like singular simple Pokemon. If you think about like the way the Pokemon went, it's all kind of very complicated at this point in time. But like Oddish was just like this little circle dude with little feet, and that was about it. But Oddish was an absolute powerhouse because in Gen 1, the gym order went Brock, Misty, Lieutenant Surge, and then you had your choice after that of going to either Koga or Sabrina. And if you had an Oddish in your team, you would steamroll those first 3 gyms because its only ability was Absorb. So it was the ability to basically go in there and just basically drain the hit points out of any of the gym leaders. So it was just an absolute tank of a little Pokemon dude in the first however many sort of runs of the game. And then get this, when it evolves into Gloom, it gets Petal Dance and then Giga Drain. So it only becomes more powerful. So it was an absolute game changer, an absolute beast of a Pokemon in the first generation, and one that I don't think gets nearly enough credit for what it does. Leah, you seem to like Oddish.
I do.
Why?
Well, okay. So here's the thing. I like Pokemon a lot. And part of my general kind of strategy, I guess, for building my Pokemon teams is who's fucking adorable. And it turns out that Oddish is fucking adorable. So he's one of my mainstays, I would say. Yeah, I mean, he is a good Pokemon to a great Pokemon who also is just a joy to be around. He kind of reminds me of Kirby, but with leaves. So
he's very, very Kirby adjacent. So you guys may or may not know this about me. I have a Pokemon tattoo. Not sure if you did know that or not. I have a Weezing tattoo that I got to commemorate myself quitting smoking.
Nice.
And but I was going to get a Pokemon tattoo anyway, and if I wasn't going to get a Weezing tattoo, I was going to get Oddish. Because this little fucker is just the cutest son of a bitch on earth, and I love his unbridled positivity. He's fucking adorable, man. Like, you see, like, I have, in any Pokemon game I've ever been able to have a Pokemon out in the world with me, walking around with me, I always had an Oddish in my party just to be able to do that at any time, because fucking look at him. Just look at him.
Yeah. And Rich, you were kind of alluding to this as well, but like he's just kind of a simple dude too. Pokemon get really complex. And that's it. I mean, that's okay. Sure, that's fine. But like, there's something to be said about just an orb with some leaves. Like, I could draw an Oddish, and it probably wouldn't look great, but you would be able to tell what it is. So yeah, there is that.
I like the idea that like Pokemon was in its infancy, right? So they're like, what else? We need some more like plant type Pokemon. Somebody just goes like a Radish, and they're like, what is different about them? And they just go, it's odd. I was like, Oddish, got it. Like, the beauty is in the simplicity there, I think. Like, and yeah, as you said, Rich, a useful Pokemon for sure.
And the juxtaposition of it basically just being like a piss weak Pokemon, right? That is just an absolute unit in the game, because balance just wasn't a concern in that first game. So you could just, with a single ability, just go and wipe out basically, but probably the first, I don't know, 2/5, maybe even the first half of that entire game with this tiny little Oddish Pokemon. I mean, if you got into Gloom, or God forbid Vileplume, absolute beast of a Pokemon. It had all of the kind of range of abilities. It, like, you could teach it loads of shit like cut and stuff like that as well. So it was like full on utility. And like, genuinely, if I'm playing any Pokemon ever at the moment and I see an Oddish, like, guaranteed I'm going to capture that son of a bitch and then mainline it, because that's just how I feel.
One of my favorite, I actually have a plushie of him, recent Pokemon, newer Pokemon, is Smoliv, because he's a small olive.
Hell yeah.
And he kind of has some vibes of an Oddish, I would say. He's maybe he's a little more he's Oddish's anxious cousin. He always looks a little freaked out, and I appreciate that, because me too, bud. But yeah, that's I think that's just a type, or an archetype even, of Pokemon that I enjoy. It's a little blob with some stuff on the top.
Do you want to hear a little bit of trivia?
Please.
So, somebody has decided to go into the humble art of taxonomy and given it a scientific name. It is Odium Wanderus, which I think is really cool. Like a little odd wandering Pokemon.
I was also looking at the Pokedex entries, and they're all pretty similar from the later ones. It's like, he hangs out in the ground, and he usually is around at night. But then you look all the way back at Gen 1, and it says, it may be mistaken for a clump of weeds. If you try to yank it out of the ground, it shrieks horribly. And there's a lot of things about screaming in the Gen 1 descriptions. So yeah, they don't yank out an Oddish, I guess.
Yeah, like a Mandrake kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. I find it, like, it's kind of amazing. Like, I mean, granted, with all the Pokemon that they have, they're like can draw from to reference. Oddish appears in a ton of these mangas and cartoons. I'm looking down the minor appearances list of Oddish, and he's fucking all over the place, man. Like, he's
people love Oddish.
He or she, I should say. They can be either. It's important to note, Rich, that that Oddish can can breed, and in
dear.
Pokemon Gold and Silver. And what I want to ask you is, like, if you're gonna breed an Oddish with another Pokemon, what other Pokemon you picking, man? Who are you gonna make Oddish breed with, Rich?
Jinx, the racist Pokemon.
No, thank you.
From Gen 1. Yeah, there's a hentai waiting to happen,
I don't
isn't
want to
it?
think about that.
Oh my God! I
Upsetting.
saw this is a complete aside, but I saw the world's worst blue sky post the other day that was positing what else Ditto could turn into after seeing Ditto in Pokemon Pokopia turning into something of a human form. So the DeviantArt is
Was it a
ripe.
dick? I bet it was a dick.
It can be anything now, theoretically, can it? Like, oh my God! The internet's a
I
terrible
want to play
place
that
sometimes.
game. God help me, I want
too.
to play that game because
Me
it looks
too.
fucked up.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
I'm looking at the Oddish other languages section here, and it tells us a little bit more about Oddish. So obviously Oddish is like a portmanteau of odd and radish. Wow, well done, Rich. You've cracked the code.
Yay.
But in
Nailed
Japanese, it is Nazonokusa, which is enigmatic herb. In French, it is mystherbe, as in mystery herb. And I think that gives us a little slice into like how Oddish was meant to be perceived. And instead of like an odd character, a little mysterious, a little enigmatic. And I think it nails it personally. I think when I think Oddish, I think, that's an enigmatic vegetable that we've got there. The, sentence that I genuinely never thought I'd say out loud ever.
Can I bring up two facts about Oddish real quick, if you don't mind?
Yeah, go for it.
Please.
In the manga, how do I say that? Manga?
Manga would be
I think manga.
like
Okay.
actual pronunciation.
Okay,
but
that's
we're
what I want to make
Americans,
sure
so you
that
can
I'm
do what you
not.
want.
Hey, what are you doing reading that backwards book? What's it called? A manga. So
Yeah, a manga. Yep.
a
got
manga.
it.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
So first of all, in Pokemon Pocket Monsters, the manga, an Oddish appeared in fierce competition at the Pokemon baseball tournament, where it was one of the Pokemon that took part in a baseball match. So Oddish can ball. Another thing that it has in common with Bo Jackson, and I just wanted to put that out there. And Oddish also appeared in Curry Showdown, which is the most delicious, as one of the participants in a curry cooking competition. So this motherfucker's a professional athlete and a sous chef. Like, is there anything Oddish can't do, is my question.
Well, exactly.
The evidence suggests that there is not.
How does he play
breed,
baseball
I
with no
suppose.
fucking hands?
Maybe he's the ball.
Ooh, I like it. Sacrifices himself for love of the game.
Yeah, yeah.
I
That's
I mean,
That's
he's
the lesson
happy.
we can
It
all
doesn't
learn.
seem like it's hurting him. So who knows?
I'd say he's got layers.
Yeah.
Not unlike a radish.
Or an onion,
Yeah.
which he also kind of looks like.
Yeah, I'm in love with Oddish. But Rich, I'm looking at this list. There's 183 characters on here. Where do you even begin with Oddish on this list?
Where do we put our very first vegetable of the
Now,
the
Leah, I
list?
just want to draw your attention to the character that did move Voldo in the 69 spot. Diddy Kong has been ranked.
Yes, I
And
was
is the
looking
current
to
number
see if I could
56.
find the. So it's Diddy Kong, and was Ness there before? Or was Ness
yes,
the other? Okay,
Ness
was
is the other one. Yeah, I
Okay.
just want you to be, because the list chemistry does add some things. I want to make sure you're fully aware. Okay,
Yes.
Rich, please continue.
God damn it! How are we going to do this? So Oddish is kind of cute. Oddish is deceptively powerful, but Oddish is, of course, one of 151 of the original Pokemon, and one of 1,150 existing
I looked it up.
Pokemon now.
I looked it up before the last game, and I was flummoxed. I was like,
Yeah,
people
indeed.
are screaming on the internet. Put every Pokemon in the game. Like, how would they do that? You
I want to
fucking
see the
monsters.
new Pokérap with all 1,000
God,
existing
exactly.
Pokemon. It'll be
Takes
here
like
for about
15
an hour.
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I did think to myself, I think Oddish, like, depending on like how you feel about it, fairly interesting character. So probably in the middle third, the creamy middle of the section. And I don't know why I think this, but on instinct, I really wanted to put Oddish at the current number 106, that would make it between Yarny from Unraveled and Pooh from Earthbound, the aka Wang. Purely because I think like it's a little silent Oddish. It's a little silent character, just like Yarny, kind of cute like Yarny and Pooh, I suppose.
There's a lot of similarity there for sure.
I just thought maybe we'll stick it there and see how that lands, because I think it could go either direction based around your own affinity with Oddish, and I think, you know, by and large it sounds like we all largely agree we're big fans of Oddish.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I was kind of looking at other Pokemon on the list, which we don't actually have that many, but we do have Incineroar, who is currently at number 110, and I do think that Oddish is a I wouldn't say better, but I would I would say better, but I would maybe not scientifically.
We've got to be objective though, don't we?
I was going to say, yeah, I would not scientifically say better than Incineroar, but I do think he's more interesting. He's definitely cuter. So yeah, I don't disagree with that ranking. I'm looking to see if I think that there's anybody at any higher positions actually.
I've got one request for this rank.
Okay.
Can we put Oddish above Yarny? I think Oddish brings more to the table than Yarny. I'm just suggesting a one spot move. Yarny's, don't get me wrong, cute as all fucking get out. Love that dude. But yeah, I don't know. Oddish just has a little more like a je ne sais quoi, I guess is what I'm looking to say. He brings the heat in a way that I think Yarny just does not.
I agree with that.
I like him. I just like him more than Yarny. I'm sorry, Yarny. Sorry for all the Yarny heads out there. But to drop this bomb on you, but
literally that one dude from Coldwood Studios who went on stage and cried is feeling it
again now, and he doesn't even know why. Yeah.
So if it's okay with you guys,
please do.
Yeah. All right. So Oddish, the Pokemon, is the 105th greatest video game character of all time. Congratulations to Game Freak. Now, whether or not Beasts of Reincarnation turns out to be a hit, it doesn't matter because they've got another character on the list. So the endorsement deals from this alone should sustain development for at least another 10 years.
Just shine a light on the enigmatic vegetable. I feel like
yes.
You guys
high time.
are welcome. And by you guys, I of course mean the Pokemon Company.
Hell yeah. So
those plucky upstarts in the Pokemon Company.
They need us. I don't want to say anything bad.
Leah, would you mind if I brought my character next?
I wish you would.
Okay, because I just feel like there's a window for ranking this character.
Yes,
when
I agree.
And we need to strike while the iron's hot. Leah and I have mentioned it several times. And in fact, if you're a Patreon subscriber to Kane and Rinse, the podcast is out now. That we played a game called Balan Wonderworld. Yuji Naka's
sure did.
3D platformer, and the person, right? Sure, person. Yeah,
probably.
That I'd like to talk about is the titular Balan from Balan Wonderworld, and this conversation could get weird. Don't go near this, here's a weirdo. I am pretty scared of him now. He is looking from his hat, probably carrying a baseball bat. Don't go near him, cause he'll touch you. Balan weirdo, pedophiles trust you.
You don't say.
So I don't mean to come out of the gate hot, and Rich is going to need some background for this.
Definitely, yeah.
But
I'm not sure you need much background for this. Here's the background that I want to give, and then Brian,
please,
you go off.
Please do it.
I want you to go to the wiki page that Brian has linked in the show notes. Go to the images on the right-hand side and click on True Form. That's the background I want you to see.
Oh my god, it's androgyny personified.
Yep.
Wow, well done.
Okay, Brian, go ahead. I'm sorry, I just needed to get that in there.
There are two questions I need to posit, and then we'll talk about why. Is Balan a kidnapper? And is Balan a pedophile? Let's talk about it. So Balin is he oversees essentially a theater called the Balin Theater. You know, quite the noble name he named after himself. Balin is I would describe him, he looks like a Masters of Ceremony at a carnival, right? Or a circus, excuse me. He's got a big top hat, got a nice, like, big old, what are those, Schultz pauldron things on his coat. He's very tall, very slender, accentuated features, but maybe the most distinct and disturbing feature is about his eyes come out of his hat. Like
they do.
His whole face is a hat, and his grin comes from under the brim of the hat, and it just looks like if the Cheshire Cat was going to eat me. Like that face, it looks like very menacing, the face of Balin. Don't you? Does anybody else read that?
Yeah. I absolutely do. So, here's what one of the things about Balin that really bothers me is if you see his, like, hatless sprite model, whatever, it doesn't seem like it really matches up with how he looks when the hat is on.
No.
Like, what is that hat? Like, is the hat doing something other than just covering his head? Like, is that a magic or more likely a cursed hat?
I think
it's
that
cursed. This whole game is cursed.
I think that the hat is his true form, and then the humanoid version we see is the mask he puts on for everybody. But let's explain what Balin does, right? Balin takes two kids, whose names I immediately forgot.
I don't know. Leo and Emma.
And whisks them away to a magical island. Now, does this already sound like anybody who's been in the news recently? To anybody fucking else? Whisk them away to an island where they have to then solve other people's problems by helping them heal the darkness in their heart. That's Kingdom Hearts, not darkness. They have to basically help these people navigate whatever is holding them back. And they do this like Persona very much. Thank you, Leah, as you very astutely brought up in the Kingdom Hearts recording. They have to go into these worlds and help these people overcome whatever obstacles they face. Sometimes this is a dolphin trainer whose dolphin has turned against her. Other times they are artists who don't have inspiration. Other times they're a lady who doesn't want to get married.
And fixing her, as you can imagine, is making her see that getting married is the right decision after all.
So
I don't like this game.
Oh my god, this game is something else. It's something fucking else, man. I've played it twice.
I don't hate it. It's bad. It is not a good game.
Yeah. So this is one of the reasons I wanted to bring Balin, Leah, you suggested this as an idea during the Kingdom Hearts recording, which put it into my head.
It came into my head fully formed, and I wrote it down. Well, I didn't write it down. I put it on my list on my phone. And yes, Brian asked before the recording if I minded, and I do not, because I think this needed to be done.
So he looks a lot like Knights from Nights into Dreams, very similar in the styling of it, which is Yuji Naka, one of his games, obviously. But Rich, I wanted to bring your attention to this. So Balin is kind of like, imagine him as kind of like, he whisks these protagonists away to then play his game, and he provides them with different masks and costumes they can use to solve these various puzzles. He's just kind of like ushering you through the game as experience. In the novel, I'm going to say that again.
What?
In the novel,
I'm glad you brought it up. I was going to if you didn't.
by an actual writer at Yuji Naka's behest, it's revealed that Balin's about 3,000 years old. So he's an immortal carnival barker who takes children away. So, like, I made the jokes before about him being a pedophile, but he's got, I believe I said this in the Kingdom Hearts recording from the original Pinocchio. He's got handsome Jack energy, where he's just like whisking Pinocchio and moving him down an alley he shouldn't go down, like, Pleasure Island, my boy, that's where you're gonna find success, and like just like whisking away these kids, putting cigars in their mouths and putting them on a boat to their doom. Like, he just resonates and just evokes that energy to me so hard, and I could never shake it. But yeah, so in the novel, because there's a novelization of Balan Wonderworld that you can currently buy, if you're so interested. Balan was created.
His website. I looked it up.
Balan was created by his nemesis, whose name is Lance.
But also in the trivia, I just saw this. If you combine Balan's name with Lance, you get the word balance.
Balance.
Wow.
I'm so sad we didn't come to that realization during the recording.
Yeah, it's difficult. So Balan kind of comes in and takes these kids and has them do these things. So Balan appears like constantly throughout the game. He's in every cutscene as like the architect of these people overcoming their problems. He also, Leah, do you want to describe to Rich what Balan's Bout is?
Yeah, so Balan Wonderworld is a game where you have to collect statues and have a number of statues before the later levels will unlock.
And what are the statues representing?
They're statues of Balan.
So he brings kids into a world to collect gold figurines of himself. Anyway, sorry, keep going.
But one of the ways that you can get these statues is by receiving a perfect score in something called Balan's Bout, which you kick off by finding a gold copy of his hat somewhere in the level. And when you do, you go into a QuickTime event where you have to press the right button. Well, it's not even the right button. It's with the right timing. Somewhere between 3 and 5 times, or is it 3 and 6? It's a number of times, and in order to get the statue out of that game, you have to hit every one with a perfect rating. You cannot try again. It is very drawn out, and it's the same thing every time, except if it was the exact same thing every time, then you would probably learn the timing, but it's not. It's basically like every time you press the button is a different like little clip, and they shuffle the clips. So like sometimes he's punching a rock, sometimes he's shooting a beam at Lance, sometimes he's just, flying through the air. It varies as to what the combination is, but it's always the same like little bits of animation.
I'm so pissed at myself that I didn't remember this during the Kane Arons recording, but it's not unlike Dragon's Lair, where it just plays you like a vignette, and you have to press the button in the right direction and like do the thing. Yeah.
It's like, because essentially the trigger for these is he's doing his thing in the animation, and you have to push the button. There's like a transparent copy of him. It's kind of hard to explain that overlaps with him.
It's hard to understand when you've done it 400 times.
When his like ghost form overlaps exactly with his real form, that's when you press the button. And that's what you do every time. It's a lot, and at the same time, it is not much. So yeah.
So
that's Balan's Bout. What questions do you have?
Oh God.
Do you have any questions, Rich?
I mean, okay? You're disassociating over there.
I'm just trying to comprehend everything. I mean,
understandable.
Look, I'm looking. That sounds like an absolute hellscape. I'm looking at the concept art sketches in the gallery here for Balan Wonderworld, and what's sort of terrifying and fascinating about it is the hat thing has always consistently been part of the design, which leads me to believe that Yuji Naka was like, listen guys, like I absolutely insist that this guy's eyes protrude from his hat. Like I will not negotiate on this. This is the absolute fundamental design that I've got in my head, and we have to have it. Listen, the rhymes can come later. The suggestive pedophilic nature of the story can come definitely after that, but the hat has to stay. This is nightmare fuel. Basically, is probably where I'm going.
So in the novel, again, something that I'll be saying often when talking about this guy, the kids refer to him simply as the Grinning Man. And oh my God, if that doesn't give you the
that is a
idiot
horror
shivers.
story thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It also says, oh shoot, I lost it. Balin is hidden in almost every cutscene depicting an inhabitant's backstory. Some have him hidden in plain sight, others are more blatant but can still be missed due to how quickly the scene changes. Generally speaking, he usually shows up right before the backstory takes a turn for the worse. Go figure. Yeah, but so it's a creepy dude called the Man in the Hat, or the Grinning Man in the Hat, or the Grinning Man, and he just kind of shows up hidden in plain sight. That is literally a horror story. Is he Slender Man?
It sounds like a Victorian London serial killer, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe he's been alive a long time.
He is nefarious, and but not on its face. They try to paint him as this heroic savior. I also find this very disturbing, Leah, and this will only make sense to people who've played Balan Wonderworld. So one of the collectible items that you get for reasons, I cannot explain what they are because there is none, are these big crystals in the area, and there's these little, and you can feed them to the Tims on your Isle of Tims, but we're not going to talk about that. But they're these crystal drops. According to the trivia section of this wiki, those are Balan's tears.
Jesus fuck.
Balan's tears can become drops. The collectible
They're
item
everywhere in this game. It's
collect...
it's like rings in Sonic.
Yes.
To get a theme going here. And as Brian says, not only do you collect them, you feed them to your little buddies on your island. They're different colors, and your little buddies, the Tims, they turn different colors depending on what color tears.
Wait, so you feed the Tims the tears of Balan?
Yes.
Yeah. Correct.
Any other questions?
That's problematic.
And when they eat enough tears, they get bigger, and then they start getting a little thought bubble above their head, and that's how you know that it's time to throw one of the smaller Tims at them, at which point they shit out an egg and go back to being small. This game is a fever dream.
And Rich, once they go back to being small, they can ride the roller coaster you've built them. Do you understand? Yeah. Oh my God! This
Rich is quietly backing away from the microphone. He's like, "What the fuck are you people
terrifying
about?"
I find Balan unsettling.
Incredibly.
Everything about him says Slender Man, fucking weird creepypasta shit to me. Like this dude is gonna appear in my dreams some night and try to get me to get into his van.
I have to do something. Hang on,
please.
There's a website that I need to check here.
Is it DeviantArt?
No.
Is it
too much for even me? It is Archive of Our Own.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay, so I just searched Balan and came up with 366 results. The first one of which appears to be in Spanish. Yep.
Oh,
okay.
We should Google translate that and just read whatever it spits out, no matter how wrong it is.
I'm not sure I want to.
I don't think you do.
Pack Dynamics, Alchemy. Yep. Mm-hmm. Original elf characters. Yeah. These are all tags from that Spanish story. Oh boy.
Yeah. Balan's a mess.
This is too much.
And essentially what he wants you to do is dress up in his little outfits for him and do his bidding. What it could possibly be wrong with that? I think I'm ready to rank.
Can I quickly read this for you, just to see if this tracks? So, I mean, there's a lot to unpack here, but I'm in BalanWonderworldFandom.com /wiki/Balan, and there's a comment here from the 25th of May 2023 from Shadow Chad U #1, who writes, if you think about it, Balan is basically the villain. He basically waves around a magic wand and fixes people. He literally breaks time and space to make someone happy, and not letting anyone grow as people. And when they turn to spooky demons, all he does is go to McDonald's and order a Big Mac for $3 with a discount code, and then acts like he did all the bloody work. Is that basically the plot of Balan Wonderworld?
Yeah. Yeah.
No wonder Yuji Naka went to jail.
Oh my god.
That's the tagline for Belle in Wonderworld. No wonder Yuji Naka went to jail. May I, before we move on, and I don't know, maybe we won't even move on after this because things just keep happening, but I would like, I'm still on AO3, and I would like to read some tags and then tell you, okay, let me just start with the tags.
Okay.
So the title is called Journeys with Balan, and some of the tags are romance, comfort, consensual sex, romantic sex, abuse survivor, bondage. It's what I would like to get. What I would like to guess for you, each of you to guess, how many words do you think that this Balan?
No.
Just give me a rough
Jesus.
estimate.
8,000.
Rich?
7,999.
You are both way low. 16,554 words
someone's
in a
dissertation.
Balan sex story on AO3. I'm closing this website.
I have to continue reading from the wiki. In the game's opening cutscene and in the final musical number, we can see Balan makes copies of himself, much like how Lance does in his boss fight. However, rather than using them for combat, like how Lance does, Balan uses his copies as his backup dancers. We can also see Balan perform a variety of tricks and dance moves that require a great amount of flexibility.
Can Balan also 69 himself? Fuck.
Maybe. I think I'm ready to rank, unless you've got any other questions, Rich.
I'm so confused. I think I'm really confused by all this.
The day when I can't have carbs is not the day to confront me with this.
All right, so this is what I'm going to posit as a starting point. We can talk about where this goes.
Okay.
I am obviously looking towards the absolute toilet of the list. I mean, just the bottom. The dregs, the worst. So I'm looking at the last 6 or 7 people on this list, and I think where Balan falls is at the new number 180, which would be in between Wakka from Final Fantasy X and Wulbren Bongal.
Oh, I forgot about Wulbren Bongal.
Yeah.
Never forget about Wulbren Bongal.
Yeah. So Wakka is a racist. We know this. But as one of our correspondents said, Wakka did have a redemption arc and saw the error of his ways, sort of. But, okay. I think that Balan believes that what he's doing is right. I think Balan will never see the error of his ways and just will continue chasing whatever fucked up dragon he's high on. And Wulbren Bongal is a genocidal maniac, right? So I think that in the hate crime kind of radius of those bottom characters, that's where Balan kind of fits in. I'm also thinking maybe we did Duke Nukem a little wrong. I can't even believe I'm saying that, but maybe that might be something we have to...
You want to highlight him? We can.
Yeah, I'm going to highlight him right now.
All right.
Duke Nukem... I mean, he's not moving high up the list, but he should maybe move above Wulbren Bongal. But I guess we'll. Oh no, I meant to highlight that. Good thing I said that out loud for the listeners to hear. So that's my initial suggestion. Do you think I'm being too harsh on Balan?
No, because I'll tell you where I was looking. I was looking in that same column, but I started at 172 because I do think he has big Mr. Mime energy.
Oh boy, he does.
And then I moved down a little bit further, and I saw Tingle, and I was like, we're getting closer. But no, I think you have hit the nail squarely upon the head with putting him at the new number 180.
Any opposition to that, Rich?
Fuck no. I mean,
right.
Who else have we got around there? Jonathan Ingram, man who owns his deviance. Balan is, by all accounts, it sounds like we need to check that man's hard drive.
Yes.
So, and soon-to-be convicted paedophile on the list is a beautiful addition to the character issues. 185 characters at the moment. But
Several
we got some
spots
real
above
depth
Chadley,
here, don't we?
as he should be. Yeah.
Yeah, several spots above Chadley. Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? And that's the way it's gonna fucking stay.
And absolutely is. Yeah.
But so Balin from Balin Wonderworld is number 180 on this list. Congratulations to Yuji Naka, another character on this list. We already had Knuckles and we had Big the Cat, so he's touched this list before. But Balin is
in a very inappropriate way. Yeah.
Oh man, I think we've done enough for today. I think we've done enough damage.
We have done too much, some might say.
Yeah, Lee, I apologize for not getting your character. We'll get to that next time.
Okay.
My solemn vow to you.
He'll hold.
Yes, Leah Haydu, thank you so much for being here, and thanks for doing the science as always.
I love science, and I hate Balin.
Rich, can you tell the people where they can see maybe our Instagram art or where they can email us if you don't mind?
So
unless you're not ready,
it is Character Issues Podcast on Instagram. Emails to characterissues@gmail.com.
Character Issues Podcast at Gmail.
Yeah, okay, nailed it. YouTube. I think YouTube is the Character Issues Podcast.
I have it up. Please hold.
And
I will tell you.
I believe that's everything. I guess you could reach out to us independently on social media, but I'm never there. So yeah, cool.
I'm the Character Issues Podcast on Blue Sky account. I try to keep that pretty active. But yeah, it's very interesting to look at how this list has grown and how we've grown as people, really, when you think about it. So I guess it just leaves me to thank you guys. Thank you all for listening. Thanks for all listening to our news podcast. We'll have another one of those, excuse me, a week from today as this podcast comes out. But I guess just for me, Brian, your host, to say our Character Issues catchphrase, which we say every week: unredact Balin's name from the list.
Release the files.